Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, welcome to super fun Steampunk Saturday. I'm vamping right now. This is not really a real thing that I do, but it fits. But anyway, I can't do super fun Sunday tomorrow, so I'm doing Steampunk Saturday. This will be great. This is going to be a really good video. I'm not just going to go through the comics. I've got some stuff that you will never ever see anywhere else but in this video. So it'll be well worth the journey through this really incredible comic book. It was a 12 issue series with sort of like a zero preview issue called Catechism. You can find it collected in two trades. One is called Drama Obscura. The other is called Manimatron, I believe. People tend to act like they're more scarce than they are. You can definitely find them on eBay for pretty affordable prices sometimes. But I don't know if that is just maybe like in the United States, and in Europe it's a little harder to find. I would personally recommend, if you were going to try to hunt these down, is to try to find the single comic books, because there is like kind of fun stuff in them. I think that the reproductions are really good in both. But it actually is a really fun, and it's not like a ton of comic books to try to seek out, but if you like this stuff, I would definitely recommend it. So these are just scans that I found online, but like I said, I've got some stuff that I kept as we were working on the job, so it'll be fun. I'll kind of hop back and forth. We're gonna look at quite a bit of the first issue, and then it's just gonna be a grab bag. I'm gonna look through some folders, and we're going to grab out pieces that I think are very cool, or like really stand out in my kind of thing. So anyway, this is the cover, and we'll start reminiscing the whole thing. Chris, if you ever watch this video, I love you. You're my brother. I had so much fun working with you on this. I never ever in a million years thought I would have the opportunity to ink you. So when the opportunity came, oh man, it was a treat. We worked together for about 2.5, maybe close to 3 years. It was right after I had finished inking Travis. I had tried out for Battle Chasers when Tom McWeeny was gonna take a break, and it was a kind of a transitional time for me, only because people sort of knew my work. I obviously gotten more exposure inking Travis, but I had come up as Alex Garner's assistant, so I actually did have a decent sort of cartoony inking style that I was able to implement. And on Chris, I kind of did a blend of the two. And to be quite honest, I know that Chris, I think, generally wanted tighter inks. I did really love what Mark Buckingham had done on Chris in the past. And so there was a part of me that was trying to capture some of that more organic thing. But it was a balancing act. I personally don't think that it always worked. But it's just one of those things, trying to find the balance between loose and sort of more hand drawn, and there's times where I honestly will make my hand kind of wobble to sort of get a less sort of anemic line. But anyway, let's get into the book. We have so much kick-ass art to look at. He's one of the most creative, not only designers of character aesthetics, but his page layouts are just awesome. Oh my god. This is like a master class in creativity. So, all right, settle in. Let's do this. What's Super Fun Saturday going to be? It's going to be steamy, super fun. All right, let's go. I didn't know if my voice would be able to pull that off today. This is not an easy task. All right, so anyway, the cover. Some of these scans are quite saturated, so we will actually desaturate them as we go along. We will look through sort of Steampunk number 1 in order. All right, so this is Cole Blacksmith, and I am going to lower the saturation on this just a tiny bit. These are very colorful pages. I mean, this was in the era of Liquid was really doing some kick-ass stuff, and anyway, when you see the grayscale, this is usually like a flashback type thing, looking in the past. But this is interesting. The color cues on this are partial color and partial black and white. The story has many layers. I remember when the first book came out, some people were critical of the lettering a little bit. That was the one sort of slapback, was that the actual lettering on the pages was a little hard to follow. And you'll see as we go along what possibly the concern might have been, but I think Richard Starkings did a really good job. It was very creative. Obviously, Joe Kelley wrote the book with Chris, or they co-created it, we'll call it. And colors on the first 5 issues are Rob Rowe and Alex. I can't remember Alex's last name, but they went by Badass is what they called themselves. And they were Wildstorm colorists that had started their own coloring house. So anyway, now let me go into my folder really quick, and I'm going to pull out a little something in here, I think. Okay, no, it's not that page. All right, we'll get to this in a second then. Anyway, so yeah, beautiful, beautiful page. I actually own this original, so I still actually have this piece of art in my possession, which is always a good thing. All right, let's go. Page 2. Ah, this is so kick-ass. I actually own this original too. It was always actually fun splitting up art with Chris, because it's like you pick back and forth. There's different ways to do it. People always ask, like, how do you split up art? Generally, like for a comic book, it goes 1/3 to the inker, 2/3 to the penciler. I have worked with people that go 50-50. So the way Chris and I did it was we would each pick one piece that we liked. It could be a double page spread or a single, and we would kind of go back and forth issue to issue. And then he would pick 2, I would pick 1. He would pick 2, I would pick 1. And so it was really fun. Beautiful, beautiful piece. But here, check this out. I've actually got it with no lettering, so we'll look at that too. And this is this right here. So we'll go back and forth between these two. So I can pull this out. Okay, so here's the printed page. We'll soak in the printed page here real quick first. Let me I think I can hide this for a sec. Yeah, minimize. Okay, so really, really beautiful colors. Again, it's that black and white color theme. Just gorgeous colors, though. It's really, really nice. I mean, I love how this all looks. And this was a neat little thing right here. He's got like a fisherman's sack, but it's full of hearts. It's very like, reminds me of like something from a video game almost. We've got a lot of symbolism with the fish. This is this absinthe? I can't remember. I can't remember like if this is absinthe. It's been a while since I read it, but I think, no, this isn't absinthe. This is someone else, I think. I won't try to guess. All right, hold on, let me do this now. I need to... now we'll look at it without the thing. And this, in a way, you can kind of almost have that vibe of, like, what would you call it? Like, look at how tight and clean this is. Oh my god, it's beautiful. People missed out, man. I did prints of some of this stuff for Comic-Con a few years ago, and people just were like, they dragged their feet on this stuff. These were gems. Look at the coloring on the face. It's amazing. Anywho. Yeah, really, really tight inks on this. It was fun. The first preview that we did was interesting because it was... oh, yeah, this is really bright. I actually own this page, too. That's really weird. I didn't realize I grabbed the first 3. I mean, it would have been out of order. I probably didn't pick them that way, but... yeah, I have all 3 of those. I had no idea it was the first 3 pages of the book. This is one of my all-time favorite pages. Man, Fiona on the car, and it just looks so creepy. So this Zipatone, people ask me about that too. Chris would generally place this stuff on the art before I would get it, and if I'm trying to remember, I can't grab out a page right now. I was gonna say I could try to grab it. I don't think that the lettering was done after. But on Catwoman, the actual art was lettered on the boards, or it was paste ups. But yeah, so he would place this stuff down. I don't know if he was printing out the Zipatone or if he would cut it out. He would do some pretty trippy effects too. Sometimes like where he would like Xerox something and it looked real blurry, and then he would just kind of paste that down on the page. They were a little tricky to work around sometimes, honestly. But you know, it's a real neat effect, so it works well. He's quite a mad scientist with this stuff. And this guy is singing a classic, Bring Back My Body to Me. And this is some crazy experiment. So I'm thinking that maybe this is absinthe, like absinthe in his earlier days before he went full absinthe. All right. Usually at some point I'll pat myself on the back and say that I'm very proud to say that I inked every single page of this series except one. And there's an interesting story of how that happened. But yeah, we did 2 years on this book. I never ever had to give away a single page. So when you get a steampunk comic book, it is all myself and Chris, which I think is very, very cool, and how I prefer to see books personally. Now, the one page that was inked by someone else is kind of funny. It was Art T. Bear. And Art was, I don't know if he was originally going to ink the book or what the exact scenario was, but there's one page in Catechism that he inked with Batcat on like kind of like a flaming kind of like shield or emblem. But that was inked before I was brought on to the book. So that's the only page that I didn't ink of the whole series. And Art does great inks on Chris. I always thought that it looked excellent. So, you know. Anyway, but yeah, this is very, very cool. So this is the credits page. Kind of do this. Got some creepy sort of... I don't know. This does have a very video game type vibe. So what game would this be? Like Mario? Kind of... turtle, dragon, dinosaurs. So this was April 2000. Yeah, that was right when I was done inking Travis. We finished right at the end of 99, going into 2000. Many, many moons ago. So many. All right, let's do this. Some of these pages we'll go through a little quicker, only because I have so much good stuff I can show from other issues too. So anyway, we start to meet other characters here along the way. You're going to start to see some new characters come in. Everybody loves Rabid Randy and Scum. And if you don't, then we can't be friends. There's Rabid Randy. He's right there. He's like a little hobbit gnome thing. I don't know. He's cool. Lighten this a little bit. There's Rabid Randy. He's very cute. I almost forgot that his hair is green. I've looked at this much more in black and white than color. The colors are great on this series, though. But all right, so let's keep going. Roll in, roll in, roll in. Keep those pages rolling. All right, there's Cole rising from the ground. From the grave, you might say. I don't know who this little dude is. Is some sort of, like, robot, maybe cop or something. Here's Rabid Randy. I love his little outfit. I always like that Chris used checkerboards. I was way into drawing checkerboards in like high school, and I would do like different perspective kind of things on them, and you can really make them look neat. But yeah, it's always the thing. So this is interesting. I'll be able to show you this page with no lettering. So one, this is an absolutely fantastic page. The characters literally run through the whole thing. So they're running up here. They come down this little staircase. They run towards us. They run across here. They climb into this panel. They fall through this panel. We get a big shot of them, and then they run into the page, and then they hop over a fence. Now, the only downside to this page, as you're going to see in a second, is there's a hell of a lot of word balloons and knickknacks on it. All right? Now, let's look at the page. Z page. You ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. Maybe you will be. All right, here we go. So this is what it looks like. We'll go full screen mode without all that stuff. The sign with the lit up fish is actually very cool. Very, very pretty page. This is kind of a low res scan of this. I'm pretty sure I have a higher res, but anyway, you still get the point. But really, really cool. The Union Jack symbol thing, or whatever they call that, on his scarf is very Def Leppard. No. Isn't that cool? I love this like horse kaleidoscope thing or whatever it is. Merry-go-round. Good stuff, man. Nobody draws pages like Chris. Putting it out there on blast. All right, what do we got? Oh my god, so saturated. Let's turn it down just a little bit. Okay. As dark as these pages are, they're not that dark in the comic book. You know, I think that there definitely sometimes is like density versus clarity issues with sometimes with steampunk art, but that is kind of the fun of it too. It's like the Michael Golden thing where you really pack in a lot of detail and it's complex and a little overwhelming, but it gives it a fun kind of replay value. This is a nice piece. We got the ladies. J. Scott Campbell and I did a variant cover for issue 4 with these girls on it. Here's Absinthe putting on a wig. Oh, okay, so this dude works for Absinthe. Like I said, it's been a while. I think I have in here. Yeah. All right, here it is without any stuff. Really, really great colors. Man, Alex and Rob were so good. And we went from that to James Rochelle, who was fantastic. Rest in peace, James. And then Studio F colors also. So we had some really, really fantastic colorists throughout the entire series, which was, it's nice. You know, you get a little spoiled with that. And then when you get back in the trenches, you're like, ouch, colors can go all kinds of weird directions, can't they? Now, I don't know how closely Chris worked with the colorists, because Chris, I think, was up in Los Angeles when we were working on this, and so I never really was around him. I could be wrong on that, but I think that he lived up in LA at that time. This is a nice page too. Yeah, this reminds me of Sonic. There's like Sonic the Hedgehog vibes in this. Beep boop 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 boop. Ooh, I love this page. The guy with the bird wing is Scum, SKOM, with the Motley Crue dots, I think, over the O. Yeah, see? Motley Crue dots. Your pal Scum. He created the perfect playground for all these different styles. Or not styles, but you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't really get away with this on some books, like such creative sort of storytelling and stuff like that. I mean, I suppose you could, but you'd almost want to reel it in a little bit, I think, at times. Maybe. It depends on what they were anticipating. This was interesting. I hadn't seen this colored in like forever. It was like trippy. I didn't even remember that weird like smoke in the water. I love this piece. I actually think that I do own this original too. I'm nearly sure I held on to it. I like the rope bridge and then this little thing. I like pages that have kind of like depth to them, you know, like splash pages and stuff like that are fun, but I like stuff that you can kind of wander through a little bit more with your eye. I thought this was just real fun looking, so good stuff. All right. Oh man, and some of the other issues. I mean, like, one is good. It's a classic. I've gone through it a few times. We'll go kind of quick through some of these pages. This is a nice page though too. Love this guy peeking in the panel right here, and the kid actually resting his hands on the panel border is pretty fun. And then this guy peeking around. And see, now this is interesting too, and this was something that I always loved. So I was a big fan of Mad Magazine as a kid, and I always did feel like Chris had a little bit of that sort of Mad Magazine kind of vibe to not necessarily how he draws, but how he thinks of a page and what you can do sort of within it and then kind of around it. So this stuff to me is all very relevant to what I kind of came up on. This is a great piece too. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let's do this. And this is another example of kind of like storytelling where you're actually like, so, you know, Cole kind of starts here, climbs through this. You've got all these crocodiles like leaping up to like bite him as he's climbing through here, and then he moves up into the page and then comes out at the top. Like, who does stuff like this? I'll tell you who. The Maestro, Gallery 0 or O. I don't know if it's O or 0. Bachalo. Chris, if you're watching this, you rock. Oh, this is great. I love this piece. And I do actually have, although there's no lettering on this, I can show you the other, like probably a higher res, pure version of it. So let me grab that out. Told you I got some fun stuff for y'all. And there's black and whites too. We'll hit the black and whites. Oh, actually, you know what? I have the black and white right here. So these, I believe, are bitmap files, so it's not going to have the same exact sort of vibe as a grayscale scan. When you turn something to bitmap, it gets a little pixely, and this is not super high res. We're already above 100%. We're looking at 200% here, but You know, the one important thing when you're working with someone that draws as dense as Chris, and I think that this is a well laid out piece, to be clear. Separation is actually really important. It's kind of like an inking buzzword, but you know, you want to make sure that a character like her sitting on this little veranda thing right here is clear, but doesn't melt into the background here. Now, the one thing that I'm torn on is I'm not a huge fan of halos. Chris does tend to halo a lot of stuff in his work, and I think at times it can actually make it harder to read. But it's just part of his style. But I think the halos here do work well. But I remember there were definitely times where what ends up happening is you have like, to me, what halos does is it creates a lot of broken ideas, and I'll do it. I'll do it with this, but it's like if you have a solid line, you know, you have a solid line like this, but there's, say it's been haloed. Now all of a sudden you start having all these puzzle pieces everywhere, and it can kind of, I think, overwhelm the the read a little bit. This is just my own opinion on things, but you know, like on this page it doesn't affect it, but I remember like sometimes he would have like black rocks on like black backgrounds and overlapping things, and you would, you know, have 2 or 3 halos to separate things. Can get a little abstract, I think. But in here, I mean, you can see how clear this all reads. It really worked well. But this is a beautiful piece. Really, really great. So, all right, enough patting myself on the back. No. Oh, and then let me grab the color file too. Sorry, my apologies. I do have that. I think, do I? Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to look at the size of the file. Is this bigger? Yeah, here's the biggie. Oh, yeah. Look at how different it is. It really is a different kind of, what'd you call it? Saturate. Well, I mean, you see how, like, this is way, way more intense. And it looks nice. And then this is more what it was originally colored as. Man, they're doing some beautiful, beautiful, like, modeling on the faces. That's my new buzzword. I learned that from Kelley, one of the color guide, modeling. I'd heard it before, but I didn't utilize it in my own vocabulary. Now I do. The outside in. That's clever. I like that. I don't remember if that's on the black and white. Hold on, I gotta see this for a second. I don't think it is. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I don't remember inking that. So pretty cool, right? Man, it's nice. Good stuff. All right, come on, let's go. We got pages to see and things to do. What is this? Oh yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap this one up. The final pages are nice, but we've got way bigger fish to fry and other issues. So, but yeah, you want to grab these comics. Don't even doubt for a moment. What we'll do really quick is we'll look at like 3 black and white files and a little sneaky peek of what's to come. So let me grab these. All right, so this is from, I'm gonna say like issue. This is the train issue, I think. Maybe around issue 10. It's like a fight scene in the dark, and it's very, very cool. A little hard to read though, you know. It gets a little encrypted at times. That's just the way it goes. Really, really good. I love this guy with his head in his hand right there, and this is nice too. I remember people would always ask me when I was inking this stuff, if they like, people would come through the studio, you know, like artists and stuff like that. I remember, I want to say Lanil Yu actually asked me, like, how was it Lanil? I don't know. I'll say that it wasn't. But yeah, like professionals would come in and they would be like, "Oh, how do you tell what's going on?" What ended up happening after I inked a couple of issues of Steampunk, or maybe even like during the first issues, there would be little cues of costume design that you would recognize as, like, you would identify it as like part of someone's sleeve or a little piece of hair or whatever it was. And I could usually figure it out pretty good, but sometimes in pencil it was a little challenging to go, you know, is that a face or is that, like, you know, whatever it is. But yeah, there would always usually be like one little object, you know, like this Rabid Randy face in pencil might be very hard to spot, but you'd see that little checkerboard and go, I know what that is. All right. And the other thing that people would always say is how bold the stuff was. Like, oh my god, you ink with such balls. Which I took as a compliment because the Travis stuff was way more finessey and thin and stuff like that. But I like big beefy lines. You know, I'm definitely not someone that is veers away from that. It just depends on what it is. Okay. Oh, this spread is so cool. So this is a big fight scene, and they're just spilling through the whole thing. The character with the like lightsaber looking thing is Faust. Faust is one of those characters that actually is a little difficult to read sometimes because he's like, he almost looks like he's made of like rock or like scaly rock. But yeah, so this Cole Blacksmith and him fighting throughout this page is, people are kind of reacting, but oh my god, it's so good. Look at the face on this character right here, Absinthe. He's digging it. Kill him. This is the Rastafarian guy, I think, from issue 10 cover. But yeah, you can see it's a little hard to make out, you know, what exactly is going on here. But you see the halos around this stuff, and I mean, it would be hard for me to turn black and white. But this is haloed. You know, something in here might be haloed. It is actually. You can see there's a little bit of a halo around this. This guy might be haloed over here. It starts to create a lot of pieces. Halo, halo, halo. Halo. And who knows? This might have been a call that I made that wasn't even necessary. But I felt like the halos would aid. This is cool. Big, big shot of Cole Blacksmith. Alright, and I'll do this. Oh yeah, this is a nice page. This is from issue 6 or 7, I want to say. So this is interesting too. So I was a really, really big fan of Chris's work on Generation Next. That was the first time that I think I saw his work was on that. And you know, same kind of reaction is that I have to this is they just were character designs and things that I had not really seen in comics by other artists. I really felt fortunate to be able to collaborate with him on a book that had those elements because, you know, like Spider-Man and stuff like that, they're different titles that maybe don't have, I don't know if you call it like the fantasy slant to it as much, but I do really think that he excels at these more wild designs, whereas some of the more, I don't know if you call it normal superhero stuff. Let me just see, I'm just going to peek in here really quick. I already prepped another folder. Let me see. I went through. Oh, it's 5. Let me grab 5. All right, yeah. Let me grab some of these. This issue was nuts. This is the big end of the first series, you call it. So the cover is crazy just on its own. This and get a little brighter too. Oh, it's bright. Oh, that's really good. Try to lighten it up just a little. Okay, that's a little more readable. But yeah, I mean, look at this. This is crazy. There's a double page spread coming up inside the book that's just absolutely crazy. But yeah, you've got Cole Blacksmith fighting this like just mountain of bad guys. And we've got Queen Victoria up here. I think this is Laszlo, I believe. I should reread this. It would be fun. All right, so let me... This is another nice page. And this is a flashback. It should be a little more gray. It sits a bit more like in this range. This is a little dark, but yeah, this is the flashbacks. As I said, they're gray. Okay, I'm gonna go and grab. Do I have the spread? I thought. Make these bigger for a sec. I thought that I had... Oh, okay, this is some of the issue 5. Okay, here we go. All right, and so this was the page that we just saw in black and white. The little detail. So this stuff right here, this I actually, so I mean, I wasn't like pulling out the comic at the time, but I really liked what Art T. Bear did on Chris's Uncanny X-Men stuff. There was a few issues, and definitely working on little areas like this, I would keep that idea in mind, which was, I don't really even know how I would explain it, but it was just, there was a certain kind of flavor to it. It was tight, and like a little pixely or something, but like that. But I always thought it looked real nice. So yeah, there was a couple of issues of Uncanny X-Men where Art had done some stuff, and I always just in the back of my mind would sort of capture it. I literally never, I don't ever draw or ink with reference out, so I'm just not a fan of it. If I'm drawing, I'm drawing. I try to pull it out of my head, especially for comic stuff. I've worked with reference before, though. I mean, there's definitely pieces I've done that are referenced. But what I mean is, like, for comic art, I prefer to I know what I know. I go into it. I try to fight it out and do my best, and I learn on the side. But that's, you know, that's just my thing. Yeah, this is a real nice page. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. There were times where I actually regretted that I didn't go in and maybe put a little bit more detail on stuff like the blacks here, but we were under duress for deadlines at times. So generally when we would start a book, and this is page 1, it was more relaxed, but as we got into the books more, we'll look at this one in a second. And then this is the spread that's coming up. So this is the 2-page spread we're going to look at in color. And man, this almost doesn't really do it justice of how crazy this piece was in person. But yeah, there were definitely times where I felt like I should have gone in and done a little bit more in the black areas, but you know. And this looks like a case where, oh, there are some halos though. If you look like, I don't know if you'll be able to see. I'll try to, like this area right here. Let me make this a little bigger. You can see even in here I haloed this little piece of object right here, just to try to make stuff a little bit more readable if it was overlapping too much. But man, that is a mighty page. Okay, so let's shut that. Yeah, we can, no. Then let me get out of full screen mode, and then we're gonna go look at the color of it real quick. All right, so here's the color. It's just so wild. Let me try to get the saturation down just the tiniest bit. So for people that are enjoying all the Wildstorm videos, there's many more to come. It's getting tricky, or because now people from Wildstorm are starting to contact me and like give me recommendations, and I appreciate it. But you know, I've got an order that I'm sort of trying to do in my mind. This is out of order though, to be honest. I wouldn't have hit this book for a while, but you know, it's just kind of a series of coincidences got me to do it today. But we'll definitely circle back to more Bachalo later as we get into the cliffhanger stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to go kind of not in chronological order, but a little bit from like old to new. So we've got other artists that we need to hit. Brett Booth, we've got Dan Norton starts to bubble up here, and just, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, it's tricky when you're working on, or when you're doing YouTube videos about people that you know too, because then it's like feelings can get involved. You haven't done my books yet. What, do you not like me? It's like, oh, I like everyone. I can't do that many videos all at once. But they're all coming. Everyone from Wildstorm will get some attention from these videos. I promise. All right. This is a beautiful, beautiful 2-page spread. One of the best. I've shared this online many times because it is so good. This is so the epitome of how awesome Chris is. It's just, man, out of this world. So on this one, what we've got is, sorry, I meant to go the other way. We can kind of go through the story on it. So here is Cole right here with his very, I don't know if she's deceased at this point, but she's not in good shape. So right here, you can see them. And he goes to the door. Absinthe comes to the door, and then they I'm just looking to make sure that there's not more. He probably, you know, it's funny is if this is his castle, they might have actually gone up into here. Knowing Chris, generally, I'm surprised he didn't have like them drawn here and going up the stairs and stuff like that. Anyway, and then we've got these really big kind of cool shots of you know, he grabs Absinthe arm, they discuss some things, go into the lab room, and then all this craziness happens. He's gonna work on her, or someone's already on the table. And I can't remember who this is, if this is Cole or if this is just someone that's already in there. But man, Chris's imagination is just unmatched. All right, let's go to escape. Oh yeah, this is a creative one too. Here, I'll show you what's going on here. Let me I'm gonna try to brighten it a little bit too. It's very, very dark. So let's do that. This will be brighter than the page normally would be, but I'll try to like this, and I'm gonna darken the black again. Okay, so this page is Faust jumping around through the page. So here's Faust right here. He hops on top of the panel border here. He jumps across this. He bounces off the side of the page and then flies into here, lands here, and then runs out of the page. Tell me you see this in other comic books, please. Find it hard to believe. It was interesting too, is we actually got a little bit of bounce back from the steampunk community. This wasn't steampunk enough. Oh, same page. That's weird. So we'll go a little bit faster through some of these. As again, we've got really, really good stuff in a bunch of the issues. So, sorry, there's no, you know, lack of like awesome stuff. This is obviously the black and white of one of these pages, but man, oh my god, the inks are really good. Like, oh, who did that? Oh, you did that. Good job, Rich. That was nice. But this is nice. There wasn't really like cross-hatching in this book. There was a little bit of waggly and a little bit of sort of like, I don't know, I kind of think of it as like a Terry Austin thing. Just a little feathering here and there, but yeah, it's not like super like cross-hatch book. For a split second, my heart dropped. I'll explain why. This little shape on here, I thought this was an X in a circle that was meant to be black. And I was like, no. But it wasn't. Disaster averted right during the YouTube video. Okay. All right, let's go. Oh, yeah, this is good. So this is part of the big battle. Very, very difficult to see what's going on here, but we've got this guy's head is getting knocked off. Cole Blacksmith is kind of jumping up the fight. Oh, no, this is from a different issue. This is like a big, oh, man, what do they call those? Like, Stegosaurus? I'm not up on my dinosaurs. It's been a while. I think this might be from, is this from issue 5? So this is issue 5. This thing shows up in a later issue and busts through a wall or something very, very similar to it, but, and then we got Faust here fighting again. But yeah, this is some intense stuff. This stuff will make a colorist's blood run cold. This is another page. Oh, this is the black and white version of the Faust jumping through the page. So we've already seen this, but we can look at it here. I didn't really see this guy flying through the air right here. It's a character right here getting knocked into the air. Faust carries this like bone flute, like it almost looks like a spine on his back. That was one of the ways that I was able to track him down. The other thing was he had a very distinct brow, and so if I would ever see this brow shape, then I would look for the eye underneath it, and a lot of times that would let me know that it was him if he was peering out from the blackness. Oh, this is good too, man. Fuck, all these layouts are so good. I love this, the boom here and Cole's getting blown up. It's a little hard to see with the thum over it. But man, the gesture of him like leaning back and his stomach exploding was really, really cool. His coal furnace heart. Oh, and here's this piece in color in black and white. It was funny as I remember a few different artists kind of mimicked some of this panel border thing. Oh, and that would be a good book to do. Is Philip Tan did a book through Wildstorm called Tailweaver, and I think Philip used these panel borders. Philip, if you're out there, what's up, dude? Long time no talk. Philip's a real good artist, but yeah, I think in Tailweaver he did some stuff like this. I remember, I don't know why this made me think of it, but I remember one time walking in and there was a set of like inking samples on like an editor's desk, and it was all stuff that I was working on. Like it was steampunk and like just a couple of jobs that I had done. And I was like, whoever this person is, they're trying to go after my jobs. It's kind of funny. They ended up inking a very different style later down the road, though. I won't say who it is, but it was kind of funny. This is nice. I sort of remember the page, but I don't remember this shot as much as I would think right here. This is very, very cool. I love all the technology. Oh, this rocket is so neat, too. There's someone that likes the plane sounds that go over my house. They recognize the type of plane it is. It's a plane that makes a lot of noise. That's how I describe it. This is cool. Oh man, it's so nice. Oh, I get it. Look at this. This is crazy. So I can't remember what this guy's name was. With the he has like a diver's helmet and this crazy, crazy scarf. Let me pull out a little bit and you can see it. So he's swinging like a big staff right here, and like I said, he's got this crazy ribbons, almost like a Spawn Angela thing kind of going on. Anyway, but she shoots at him. He's flying through here, fighting through here, and then this is really, really cool. Oh, he's got a mace on it. That's cool. I didn't remember that. Man, this is great. Chris is the best in the biz, I think I have. Yeah. Oh, this is so good. Man, it's so epic. Look at these guys flying through the scene on these crazy things. We've got this big kind of orb all lighting up, powering up. Cole Blacksmith with his spear that has a light on it now. Super fancy. Alright. Oh, this was the page that I showed earlier, the black and white of. Yeah, I'm gonna tone it down a little bit. You can see how dark it gets, and the word balloon carry covers up a decent amount of art. I don't remember what was over there, but you know, I never got really hung up on word balloons covering up stuff like in the comic. It doesn't. It's just part of the thing, and so it's something that people have asked me about. Like, what do you think when you have something really cool and it gets covered up by a word balloon? I mean, especially the last 20 years. I mean, you can always show it online. So, worst case scenario is, you share it on social media now. But back then, it's just kind of part of the process, On to the next page. It's, the thing is if you're a professional artist, you're producing a lot of art. So, something that you did a month earlier is, it still means something to you. But you're working on the next job and getting stuff done. And, there's probably a little bit of that, don't look back kind of thing, which I generally don't, to be honest, even to this day. Other than the fact that, now, because I'm working on penciling, it's important for me to, really kind of analyze my stuff and see what I'm doing wrong as much as possible and how I can make it better. So there's more reflecting, I think, right now for me because of that. This is really, really great. Okay, so now let's grab... We'll go for 15 more minutes. I wanted to make this a pretty substantial video. So, sorry. Alright, stab it, mouse. Let me grab this. This, and we'll grab more of these in a sec. I just want to I showed this on. We'll do these. These are cool. All right. So again, stuff you won't really see anywhere else. So this is nearly sure this is James Rochelle colors on this. This may be Studio F, but it's one or the other. Really, really beautiful page. Laszlo, we've got Faust creeping in the shadows up here, and again the brow and the eyes. You know, like I said, that was the tell for me that's what that was indicating. In pencil, you'd be surprised, or you know, how hard that would be to read, because this might not be filled in with black either. Man, he's changing. What is going on? Oh, this little shot of Rabbit Randy is great right here. Look at him, like, that is so cool. Love the gun. Love the gun. Right. Look at this. This is so cool. This is another one of those. Just amazing. This is from issue 11, I think. There's this whole sequence in this, like, mine. Look at this stuff. I mean, there's a page where they drive through the mine in these carts, and it's one of those, like, animated sequences where they're here, they're coming this way, they're going here, they go down, you know, further into the page. It's just so clever. Hey, there's even tracks up here. Do you see this up in this area right here? Let me get a brighter color. But like up here, those are more tracks above us. And this is nice too, actually. This little area right here. Man, the dude is so freaking awesome. There's people that collect this art, and I have a decent amount of it still here, but I don't really sell it. Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, man, if you could ever track down like one of these originals, you'd be pretty happy, because they're very cool. It's a very special book. Honestly, I think of a few high water marks in my career, I definitely would put this in the top 3 for sure. One book that people wouldn't think of for me is I still am very, very proud of. Tom McWeeny and I did a book called Gen 13 Christmas Caper. It's about as near a perfect job as I think I've ever done, from front to back. I don't really think that I had a bad page of inks. That's hard to do for an oversized book, but you know, it's kind of one of those babies, like Gen 13 babies kind of thing. So a lot of people have never seen it, but yeah, I was kicking some butt at that point. This is nice. Very, very clear. It's interesting. But stuff like this is where I think that when I was doing the job, I always kind of regretted that this didn't have a little more pizzazz. It needs a little bit more. Even in here, it's just, I really couldn't draw that well, like comic book stuff that well. So it was like I was pretty good inker, but my overall drawing skills were weak, and so the idea of drawing on someone that draws as good as Chris Bachalo with like more detail was just not something I was really comfortable with. Now I could do it because I can see perspective that's not even, you know, like not indicated or just like suggestions. But back then I understood the premise but didn't really understand it either. So I tell people it's like you think you understand it, but there's like levels of it, you know. It goes and goes. This is great. And we'll see some of these pages in color in just a sec too. This is nice. Cole like sinking into this like just darkness. These creepy things sort of covering him and pulling him down. This is really cool how it's lighting up there. This is like so crazy. What is this thing right here? More planes. No. I don't think we show this one. No, this scan is very pixely. You can see and hear how it's so pixelated. So it's kind of a low res file, but this, I always called this like the Island of Misfit Toys. But this is from issue 4. I think this is pages 2 and 3 from issue 4. I'm right. Damn. Yeah, this is just amazing. His double page spreads in Steampunk are just some of the most cool, just awesome things. Oh, so good. Oh yeah, this page. So whenever I show this page, I'm nearly sure Scotty Young bought this off of me. I could be wrong. It might have been a different page, but Scotty came by my table at Artist Alley years ago, and he bought a page with a downshot perspective. I'm nearly sure, but he really liked this page. But it is cool. It's like literally like a cabin, and he just puts the camera above it, and he just has this killer. You get to see through the whole house. Like, he's getting up out of bed in this room. She's at a table here. They've got, you know, Laszlo chilling on a bed over here. There's a chest. I mean, it's really, really wild. The chandelier, and then we got these other panels. But, man, that's some good stuff, man. Okay. Oh, I love this. Okay, so this is the thing that I was talking about, like the train. So the train starts up here, drives into the page. You've got all the guys in the like little caboosey things, and Cole is getting into one right here, and then here's Cole in the back one, and these guys are going, and the engine part of it is like right there. Then it's going this way, and then they all get out of it right here. It's so cool. Really, really neat stuff. Oh, this is great too. The silhouette of this guy like standing here is awesome. Fun, fun, fun. Oh yeah, this is like a big splashy shot. I almost want to say that there's a panel that went underneath this. I could be wrong, but I thought I remember a panel underneath it, but I could be off on that. I don't remember her name. I just don't. The bad guy is absent. He's got those rockets on his armband thing. It's cool. Okay, so we're gonna look at like some grab bag pages from a couple of issues. I think, was it 7? Yeah. I'm gonna grab some of my favorites. I like this. Oh yeah, this is really cool. Oh yeah, that's a great shot. We'll grab those 3 from this. We'll have to lighten them. This is a very somber page, but it's very, very cool too. Let me get those. That's so dark. But yeah, it's funny. I never realized that was a color panel. But yeah, like a flashback of her passing away. It's just heavy, heavy stuff. Really, really good. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me get this. Oh yeah, this is good too. I'm gonna try something. Well, let's see. Oh, so dark. It's such a bummer. The comics aren't this dark, to be clear. Like the thing is these scans, they're not only saturated, but they're a little muddy. And sometimes muddy scans they're real hard to sort of pull out of the mud. I mean, you could do it with curves, but I'm not gonna get into doing curves on each page. But trust me, if you get the comics, it's more legible. This is great. Faust blowing his flute on this like tree. And this is really cool too. The colors on these issues were really, really good. I'm pretty sure this is James Rochelle, but James had a slightly different palette than the Badass guys, so he would bring in a lot of these kind of almost like earthy, like sunset colors. It was real interesting, but like shades of red and orange and yellow and purple and stuff like that you wouldn't normally like see as much in comics at that time. And even these earthy kind of rusty colors, it was a little bit different, but it was nice change from the super hot like saturated stuff. So okay, let me grab some more. Oh man, some good stuff in this issue. Let's just grab these. Oh, so dark. Such a bummer. Oh, the house. I saw the trailer. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so let's. Can you imagine all this art? This is in comics. I don't see comics like this very often anymore, that's for sure. Man, it's so cool. I remember inking this piece and some pages around this time for sure. I mean, like, I remember, like, literally working on it. Most of these pages I remember. Very, very rarely do I not remember a page. Sometimes that happens, though. It depends. But, you can see he's up here. But I actually remember working on this one. This is a nice little drawing right here. Okay. This is pretty cute. It's a little really, I always like this kid, this little girl with a, like, she's like wearing, like, you know, an adult's armor. It could be Cole's stuff, I'm not sure, but or she's dressed up as him or something like that. This little thing right here, so classic, Chris. So random. This is all great. Really, really good. Bot bugs, gotta love them. Always fun. Put a little bit of splatter and stipple around them just to kind of make them sort of pop and glow. Oh yeah, this is cool too. Hard to read here, but really, really some nice mood here where I really like the lighting right here where it's like a night sky, but man, the you know something hot is going on over here and it's lighting up the smoke here and all this with them coming through. Cole hiding in the trees. This is all really, really great. What is this? I remember this page. So there was more planned for this book for sure. I mean, I know Chris had told me other story ideas for what you call it, like as the story continued and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, that just never ended up happening. So I know when you bring stuff like this out, people, you know, will kind of go, oh man, gotta get back to it. But I don't know, you know, I don't. Oh yeah, here's this piece in color. His shirt's funny. He's got like a pink goldfish shirt. Oh yeah, this is good. This is kind of an homage to the cover for this issue. The cover was very similar shot, but this page is great too. I'm gonna turn just the saturation down a little bit. So all right, so we're gonna start wrapping this up. It's been an hour, so I don't want to go too long. Oh man, this is crazy. So hopefully that was fun. Super fun, as we say. Really, really crazy. But yeah, you want to pick these up. At some point, I may do... when I get my books more organized, I might do a few like signed auctions where I'll sell like a full set of 1 through 12, like all signed from my collection. I just need to get everything organized and count how many copies I have of all the books. But I thought that might be fun, or like do a giveaway or something. So, all right, let's, we'll go into the fancy folder and look at a few more, of the, and there's the cover, like I said, how it's a little, so this is, I've talked about this before, it's Chris, friend, Bachalo, all mashed together into one Chris, friend, O. No one got it. I thought it was funny. He wanted to call us christened, and I was like, I don't know about that. So let's see. Because I was like that he would do those hybrid names with people. Let's do this. Let's grab this. Oh, wait. No, not that one. this, 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 and this. All right, and we'll end it with these beautiful color files. And this is from the final issue. This is from issue 12. Again, really, really cool. I love the above ground, below ground vibe with it. I think it just looks great. It's very, very fun. Again, we've got these animated sequences that he does. So when you see people doing that in the next year, you're gonna go see if they watch Rich's channel. This is why they've all of a sudden come up with this brilliant idea. Thanks to Chris, though. This is great too. Such a nice double page spread. I love the fish, and he puts them at such cool angles like this. I mean, you're really like you're underneath this fish looking at it. It's so nice. He's really, really good. He's just creates like subtle perspective and then just really locks into it. It works great. This is awesome. And he would sometimes hand letter the numbers on them. You'll see it on some of the pages. I don't think it's on every single page, but you would kind of dip in and out of it. This is really, really cool. Love the lighting here. Oh, man. This was an exciting time for comics. Lots of glows, big chunky cuts in the colors. Oh, yeah, this is great. Yes, this is issue 12, page 5. Lots of bullets. Laszlo kissing girls. Oh, he's still messed up. What is going on? Is it Laszlo or is it someone else? Got Cole laid out on the table. He's real good at these down shots, man. So this is Scum. Is Rabid Randy around? Oh, there's Rabid Randy right there. I like Rabid Randy. He's got long fingernails. And this will be the last page. Alright, so well, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully everyone has a great day. We're about to crack 20,000 subs. We're about 70 away, so it should happen soon. I'll be back in like a week. I'm gonna finish Crystal Planet issue 2 this like over the next like 8 days, and then I'll come back and do a video. By then we should be at 20,000 subs, so it'll be good. But this is a nice one to have as a cliffhanger for the return. So, alright, smash the like, subscribe if you can. Definitely check out the links in the description. I'll have links to Chris's social media, and you should definitely follow him. I'll put Joe Kelley also. And yeah, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.